Well, it's telling me I'm live, so welcome from the crossroads of America. A talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience. Either, whoops, I got mail, so I have. From the audience, either in chat or email at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I got a Patreon page, PayPal, and all the other information in the, I guess it'd be the information section below, wouldn't it? So there we go. Let me introduce my panel so far. We've got from behind enemy lines, we've got New York Outcast.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me, Rick. Thanks for joining us, folks.
Yeah. Then we got from the great state of Michigan. Now, is Michigan a free state, or is it semi behind enemy lines? I don't know. Squib, how you doing?
Wow. I don't even know how to answer that.
Well, I mean, you have some lenient gun laws, but then you have some weird ones too. You know,
for example,
registration of your firearm to buy one.
You mean the handgun registration?
Yeah. To me, that's a weird one.
Okay.
No. And I'm just saying, it just seems weird to me. That's all. So, I guess that's
about
what.
So kind of strange. New York didn't even have that for the longest. So, but yeah, if you live there, it's normal, right? So.
Yeah, I mean,
it's all perspective.
Yeah, like when I lived in Rhode Island, you learn to live with that stuff. But God, I tell you, if you ever got the kahunas to leave New York State and go to a free state, you're going to be absolutely blown away. They're,
yeah. It's not the kahunas.
Even if you move to Michigan, you'd be blown away.
Cheddar.
You know? And look, if you move to Michigan,
you give the guy constitutional carry, and suddenly he's on a high horse.
Yeah, I'm special now. You know. Anyway, let me introduce the people in the chat so far. As we introduce my panel that I have at the moment. First in the chat today was Shady Hill Homestead. Then Grim90, Kevin in New York, Raphael, Tactical Fud. That's it at the moment. And Gun Hobo 62. So they're starting to come in. All right. So what you call it? I got a question.
You've got mail.
Yeah, okay. I've been doing this. I got, what is this? Let me have a look. See, this is episode, or I wouldn't even call it an episode. This is the 230th Saturday live chat I have done. Right? Now, what I want to know is these channels I've noticed lately. When it pops up on their screen, Season 3, Episode 45. What's this fucking season shit? Did they stop and take a break for a little while, then start up the following year? I can understand that. But they've been going constant the whole time, so how in the hell do they have seasons?
That's funny. It's like they broke it down to a semester or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's the cool thing to do. So I figured I'm in season, since I got 230, give or take, say 50 a year. So I must be in season 5. You know? Because 250, that's 4. And now I'm at 30 now, so I got to be in the middle of season 5. So I think I'll start doing that. I'll be a cool kid, like the rest of the asses, you know. So
Yeah.
I just say
It's
that.
leaders and followers, Rick. You don't have to do everything people are doing.
No,
You keep that up, you'll be trading everything in for Glocks.
Yeah, I'm not really a follower. I'm not a leader either. I do my own thing. You know, that was like at school. You had the jocks at one end of the playground, then you had the nerds at the other, then you had me in the middle. I belonged to nobody.
See, my school was like the Glocks, the stoners, and the nerds were way in the middle.
You know, it was a lonely life growing up. You know, but that's okay. Hey, Night Strike's here. You know, so all right. Anyway, to my title of my show today, in my mailbox, I got the open letter from the ATF telling me all about FRTs. Is that what you call them? And I'm reading it and said, why in the hell are they sending this to me? Then I realized,
watch your show, man.
Well, then I realized I got a CNR FFL, and that drops me into a federal license. That's why I got the open letter. You know, now they say people are saying that the ATF has changed the terminology on that FTR. Right? Then they claim, they didn't mention the brand, but they're saying there's one or two out there, that if you hold the trigger in, it bypasses the release mechanism for it will shoot again. Now, according to them, that's a definition of a machine gun. What does a machine gun do when you pull the trigger? What's the difference, Squib?
Well, I'd argue their definition, because were they actually shouldering properly? Did they have the proper grip, or were they lightly holding it, trying to get it to, I don't want to use the wrong words, simulate something like a bump fire with the trigger. So depending who did the test, which you're speaking probably ATF, I think it could be biased. Although I don't have any experience with one of them triggers personally. So this is all just opinion.
So Squib, is he there?
Yeah.
So have you read about this thing about this FTRs where the ATF claims that they can hold the trigger in and it'll fire more than one time because it bypasses the reset?
I don't care about that crap.
Okay. Well, I was wondering, what does a fully auto do when you press the trigger? Doesn't it do the same thing?
What it will do is it's got it's kind of hard to explain. When you pull the trigger, the blowback or the movement of the bolt backwards resets it. You just keep your finger on the trigger, it just mechanically resets it and fires. And I'm using very broad general terms here before somebody out there in the live chat goes, that's not what it does. It more or less the reaction of the moving parts of the gun keep it continuously moving until you either let off the trigger or until it runs out of ammo. You can set it up so it'll do a burst, like a 3-round burst. It'll fire 3 times and then stop, or continuous fire or something like that. You can set it up whatever way you want. The more complicated you want to make the mechanism. The deal with all these gimmicks is that they simulate it. They simulate it. And people go, well, by definition. I'm not saying that I agree with the NFA. I'm not saying you shouldn't have the right to a full auto or select fire and that stuff. And I'm not saying that the ATF is right about the way they're doing things. But let's just call it for what it is. People are trying to skirt the law. People are trying to skirt the law with all these gimmicks. And they get so damn butthurt over these gimmicks getting regulated. But yet they're the ones going on social media, waving it around and pictures and videos going, look at me, I've got a machine gun. So what do you expect the government to do? I'm not saying what they're doing is right. I'm not even saying it's constitutional. It isn't. But every time somebody invents one of these stupid things, and every time somebody jumps on social media to show it off, they set us back in getting rid of the NFA. If you really want to get rid of the NFA, quit trying to defy the law. Quit trying to come up with workarounds. And at the end of the day, a lot of this junk is just that. It's just junk. You want it, go ahead, spend your money on it. But these sorts of things, in my opinion, set us back in ever getting the NFA repealed. And we can get the NFA repealed if we would just stay on task, but people keep getting distracted every time they want to go after these gimmicks, like the solvent traps and the force reset triggers and the shoulder braces or the arm braces and the bump stocks, and fill in the blank with whatever gimmick you want. There's a lot of people out there that they're more interested in the cool factor than they really are interested in liberty.
You said that about right. Squib, I think. I had that. That's roughly my opinion too. What you just said, you know. So it's just. And the other thing that gets me is the certain channels that go in because of this letter they put out. They put millions of law-abiding citizens, made them felons. Well, that's scaremongering right there. Yeah, so you have one of these triggers. As long as the ATF don't know about it and don't arrest you, you are not a felon. You're only a felon if you get caught and prosecuted. So, that's my take on it anyway. Rob, what about you?
I personally don't have any problem with people gambling. I think it is a gamble, but I think if we just bow down, submit, or too scared to do anything, then they're going to bulldoze over us personally. So I'm all about resistance. I don't want to necessarily be a martyr and sit in jail for it. Everybody's got different lines, but I personally don't see a problem. I don't own them. I don't use them, but I don't see anything against them. I think everything's all has to do with kind of intent. Do you intend to use it that way, or do you intend to use it as a force reset trigger? So by definition, if they leave a loophole, why wouldn't you use it? Doesn't everybody do that with taxes? Like, maybe not the little guy, but you bet your ass the big guys do. Loopholes are what keeps things going in some cases. So I don't see the problem. It's all lawyer BS anyway, between this or that. I don't agree to the laws. Again, I think you when you get to the gray area, the questionable side of things, or the what's the right word? The side everybody's, I can't think of it, but when you get to those items that everybody's got different opinions, it could be one way, it could be you're taking a gamble. It is what it is. So if it bites you in the ass, that's part of playing the game, I guess. So, but personally, I would much rather, people did use the loopholes. People did push back. People did get these questions raised, because honestly, I think the new normal, which we're allowing and accepting, is far beyond what we've had in the past. And the next generation's normal will get a little further and a little further. So we should push back, because I don't know if everybody agrees, but in my opinion, all these laws are overreaching in most cases anyway. The average person should be able to have, in my opinion, just about anything the military has. So technically they should be borrowing stuff from us if need be. So I don't understand, how things got to where they are. But needless to say, I don't have a problem with them. Don't be surprised if you end up having trouble because, they make up whatever they want to next week. And then the next thing you know, you're a criminal. But I'd recommend if you're into that stuff, you do it on your own. You don't make videos. You don't tell everybody all your friends, keep your business your business. It ain't really a problem.
Yeah. And as Squid said, if you want to do it, fine. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and everybody, I believe that we should be able to have whatever we want, but it goes back to, I think we've had this discussion once before for it's going to upset a few people, but basically what you're doing is poking the bear, and you poke the bear enough, he's going to get up and roar. Now, I understand the resistance thing, right? But even though you've got, I don't want to hear, well, we got 5 million new gun owners since the epidemic and the riots. That's a fucking drop in the ocean. I understand resistance, but we are such a small group of people. The gun owner is not the majority in this country anymore.
Doesn't matter. Do you allow a bully just to continue to push on you? Because that's how the ATF is acting. Whether you get your ass kicked or not, if you want respect from society, from your peers, you better stand up for yourself. And that's the American way. Whether we die trying, so be it. I'm not, advocating it in a sense, but when you look at, again, where we've come from, the sacrifices, the hardships, to, I can't miss a day at work nowadays. It's a freaking joke. So, everybody's got different lines and different things, but if you actually believe in something, you should be willing to die for it. That's just my opinion. Lots of soldiers sign up for that with that in mind every day in a sense. So it doesn't have to be a soldier thing. It can be a mom protecting a child thing. She doesn't just run away from the kid when a grown man's gonna beat him down to death. She takes the abuse trying to stop. So, if you got no heart, then maybe you deserve what you get as a society. I don't know what to tell people, but, you don't just give in.
I didn't say give in.
Yeah, I didn't say you did, but I'm just stating as a whole, resistance we need more than resistance. We need to kick the ball back to the other side a little bit. So, but everybody's too worried about making them upset. The hell with them being upset.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I see where you're coming from.
Outcast has a point. Outcast, what I'd like you to do is go get your New York compliant AR-15 and rip all that crap off there and make it like a normal AR-15.
So one example, that's what you got. Even though I stated, everybody's got different lines, pick your spot. You want to harp on one little thing as a whole example for the whole system and the rest of society. Come on, man. You got to add better than that, bro.
Just saying, put your money where your mouth is.
It depends how far you're willing to.
No, it's true. And it would be quite foolish of me to get up here and describe how patriotic I am, even though it could involve me breaking laws in my state, wouldn't it? So, ain't going to happen. Call me what you want.
So, all these infringements that even the ATF are rewriting the definitions. You're rolling over and taking it.
Oh, there's appearances and there's reality. So again, and there's people have different lines. So it depends where your line is. So on that aspect, I'm not going to incriminate myself to make it seem better in your eyes. So.
Yeah,
like I said, call me what you want. So I'm leaving it there.
Well, I understand where you're coming from, but but what I was saying was, as a community or culture, whatever you want to call the 2A thing, the majority of America, there's more people without firearms than there is with firearms. So we're a minority, aren't we? So really, you got to pick your battles when you're that small.
You are, but those rights are given by God. It doesn't matter if the whole world's against you. If you want to submit, that's up to you. If you don't, that's between you and God.
You know. Oh, I
mean,
yeah.
You know, right is right, wrong's wrong. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So that's just how it is with things.
If you're, I mean, here's a question for you. What happens if you're an atheist? How do you rectify who gave you those rights?
I don't think you got too much of a stand on that. So you could go with the whole human aspect, but I've had that conversation with a lot of people, actually.
Yeah.
Some family members. So, and, you know, they want the cake, but, you know, they want to eat it, but they don't want the cake, or however you want to put it.
Yeah.
So, they can get a little sketchy in that aspect, but then, you know, they tend to fall back on a human right. So that would include everybody across the seas and whatnot. So, and I think that becomes, you know, it leads to other things. So it can get deep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is sort of like a human right per se. Everybody has the right to protect themselves. If somebody's trying to beat the shit out of you or kill you, as a human, you have the right to defend yourself.
Unless that beating's government sanctioned.
You know,
then according to the government, you don't. But according to you, you may still have that right.
You know, yeah. I mean, if you don't think you have a right to defend yourself with a firearm, for argument's sake, hey, stand there and get your ass beat or shot while you're waiting for your beloved police to show up. You know, it's the way I look at it. I mean, I saw a video the other day, and I can't think of the name of the channel now, but he's a policeman. And he said he's been a policeman for 20 something odd years. And he has never, no, he lied. He said, I've only ever arrived one time where the action was going down. You know, he said, no, he said the other 99% of the time, as police, were there always after the fact. You know, so I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. The problem is, you know, if you have to honestly explain this to people, then those people are fairly closed-minded. You know, in my opinion, that seems to be the issue. So, you know, screaming and waiting on somebody else to save you isn't the best method. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But you know, if you want to take that route, that's on you. I hope you don't have kids that depend on you, or I hope you're not responsible for somebody else if you're just that much of a pushover. But I can state, if I had a wife like that would rather die or get raped or whatever than defend our children, then that would be a serious problem for me. So, serious. So, you don't have to win, but you damn sure better try.
I see Tony York's out in the chat. I haven't seen him in a while. Jason's out there too. He must be working. Otherwise, he should be in here. Or is everybody bailing on me and going over to G-Web's site for his gun question seminars he's been holding the same time as me?
People tend to love to watch those screens flip by.
Yeah. Oh, and also I'm signed for the newsletter from the what you call it? The it'll come to me. From the Second Amendment Foundation. You know, and they're saying they've asked for an inquiry into the that article that was done by NBC News. Did anybody see it? I never saw it. I only read about it. You know, where a guy goes in a gun show in where is it? Pennsylvania, and he buys two 80% lowers, two P80 firearm kits, and he takes them and hands them over to the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office. They finish assembling them and actually fired them on camera. Now, for somebody to buy them, then give them to somebody else, they're saying that's a felony. You know, I don't. You know, so they want to inquire. I mean, how come they can get away with it, but Joe American can't? You know.
Again, if you got to explain that, you're not dealing with the brightest group.
So, yeah. No, I don't know. I was just curious, you know. But hell, what the hell do I know? I'm just a fat old boy living here in Indiana.
It's the same reason officers can run lights and park in handicap spots and all over this curb and be on the cell phone as they pull you over for seeing who called, all that type of stuff. There's different rules for different people.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised to see Tony York in here, you know, because we're going to start flooding his state with illegal firearms now that we got constitutional carry. You know, I'm sure Beetlejuice up in Chicago is getting all bent out of shape over it. So it's all right. Tony lives in Illinois. Well, he used to. I don't know if he's moved yet, because he was going to move to Missouri. Yeah, you're right, Tony. Shipping guns to Mexico under the table ain't the most legal way to do shit either, but they did it. Yeah. It's all right for them to do it, but we can't. You know, you're right, Kevin. It's a rigged system against the citizens.
That's how many weapons they left overseas just recently. I mean, you know, if you or I are on vacation and left our weapon overseas, I think that'd probably turn out to be an issue.
Oh, you bought some land in Missouri. Good for you, Tony. Good for you. I know you said you were going to, and you're thinking of retiring there. So I'm glad you have. That's another free state. You know,
he's even making me a love shack on his property so I can help him out.
Yeah. Oh, well. Okay, what else is happening, guys? You know? Anything?
Not a whole lot. Got verbally assaulted a little while ago, right before the show. That's typical. Yeah. They go try to serve 2 evictions, get gas, hit the cigarette store within an hour before the show. So hit got my stops in. One's like, I think, vacated. So they got like the doors open, busted windows everywhere, place is empty. So it's probably just being used as a place to get high now. And the other place, man, dude came down looking like Tony Simon, but pissed off. And gave me a little bit of his opinion and took the paperwork and went on his business. So I got out of the way, but no problem. So evictions are definitely happening again in my area.
Yeah, I mean, what do they expect you to let them live there for free?
Oh, I don't know. It's not even my property or place. It's I'm just, you can state, the middleman. So I have no idea what they think. A lot of them are expecting it because I guess there's a, part of the scam system now where you wait for an eviction and you go down to social services, and if you got kids, they'll help put you up in another place without a security deposit. So most people are waiting for the eviction. This guy seemed pretty pissy, so I don't know what his deal was. So I'm assuming that's why I got this case, or whatever you want to call it. So, that happens a lot. I usually get the pissed off black guys or the racist guys, one or the other. So when the landlord feels threatened, they call me.
Now, are you a repo guy type person as well?
No, although I have done that in a sense. So we're, contacted, like OnSARS helped out in the past. There's things of that where you can get, cars shut down, and then the person in them, usually wife, husband, whatever, thinks something happened, and then you can go pick it up, and the car will get turned right back on. So I have assisted in some of that stuff. Same thing with motorcycles, but it's usually more personal, not personal to me, but people acquaintances with. Also, same thing with cheating. So tell you, those little cheap ass motion cameras, game cameras, you set one outside your house, you got any doubts, let me tell you, they work. So there's all types of tricks and things out there. So I help with a lot of different things.
Yeah. Tony says, do you carry a gun when serving eviction notices, and how
Definitely.
big?
Yeah, I carry usually my shield normally, so concealed with extra mags, and obviously try to keep my distance. There's ways to approach people and all that. So
yeah. Oh, Jason Stewart asked me how Indiana constitutional carry's going. Well, it passed. We've got it. He signed it this past Monday night, and it officially goes into effect July 1st. As of July 1st, Indiana will be able to do constitutional carry, either concealed or open. Either way, you're allowed to do it. Now, I mean, for all the people who don't understand, you still got to fill out a 4473 when you buy a gun. You still got to have that background check. All it stopped is us having a second background check when we apply for a permit. And as we've all said, you shouldn't have to. Now that we got it, we shouldn't have to apply for it. But I'm going to keep renewing my permit anyway, because as of right now, the Indiana, what's the word I'm looking for? Reciprocity is Indiana's license is recognized and recognized in 34 states. So, so it's good to have. So
I'd keep it for that reason.
Yeah.
The reciprocity, because your state is cool now, but obviously still a lot of other states aren't. So if you do travel, be a little convenient, a lot more convenient if it's not too much of a hassle to maintain your status with the permit or whatever.
Yeah. Sorry. I got a text from my cousin here.
Not that we should have to have them and all that crappy crap, but, because it is the way it is, might as well use what you got.
Yeah. What's Two Live Moose showing up. How you doing? So, all right. You're very quiet, Squib. What's going on? You filming or editing videos?
Yeah, I'm shopping for a Mauser rifle on Gunbroker.
A Mauser. Oh, okay. All right. Do you have a CNR, or do you just ship them to an FFL and go pick them up that way?
Yeah, I just get them from an FFL.
Okay.
I
just
looked
curious.
into the CNR years ago, but I decided that there's probably only been 1 year where I bought enough CNR stuff to make it worth it. I don't think I buy enough every year to really justify it.
Yeah.
One of the channels I used to watch a long time ago, he did a video on why it's not for everybody. I can't even remember the premise of the video, but he just made it sound like it was just a lot of trouble and a pain in the butt. And you've got one and you maintain it, and it doesn't sound to me from your perspective that it's really that big of a cost or a hassle.
No, no. It's only, believe it, it's only $30, and it's good for 4 years. And they even send you a notice when it's renewable. And they're only interested in the money because the first thing on the actual form all the ATF wants to know is what bank do they draw or credit card do they draw that money from. That's the first thing on the form before you fill out anything else. Now, but see, the downside is for all the paranoid people out there and the conspiracists and stuff is the FFL have the right, not the FFL, the ATF have the right to come in here and ask to see, because when I buy a CNR, I meant to fill out this little book, bought it or sold it, and they have the right to come and see that, just like they do at a regular FFL store. I still fall under I still fall under that shit. That is why I got the letter about the FTRs, because I'm an FFL, a CNR FFL, but still an FFL. So I don't find it a problem. I've never had the ATF contact me or anything whatsoever. And what have I think in the whole that I renewed it the second time, and I've only ever used it twice. And I just be honest with you, I just haven't been looking at mil spec stuff right at the moment. And it's cool to have it sent to your house. I mean, my house is my FFL premises. So theoretically, yes, it is my house, but it's also under the CNR license. This is where I do that stuff from, is here. So, what did I buy? I haven't bought anything for a long time, roll call. The last CNR I bought was an old Polish P64. I think it cost me $250. And that was a couple of years ago. And yeah, it gets delivered. I mean, it gets shipped right to here because this is where my FFL is listed as. So I guess that's kind of cool, So
I think the ATF's concerned that you're going to put one of them 4-set triggers in your Mauser.
I do not know. I think it's a no.
I'm just being a smart ass. I know.
I mean, I guess who's ever got a license of any kind, more than likely every FFL kind, no matter what kind it is, got that open letter.
Yep.
Yeah. So
So Squib, you happen to get a letter from the VA about abuse and whatnot and reporting it recently?
No, and I saw your post, and I tried to magnify the picture so I could actually read it, but I was only able to pick out a few words from it and wasn't sure what it was about.
Yeah, they've given out a little handbook now on how to report abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, all that type of stuff over at the VA. So the ironic part was it was dated last year. So
Wait,
November 9th, 2021.
Report what to who?
Apparently if you're going to the VA and you're feeling, like you're being abused, how to report it through the chain, supposedly. So I don't know. I'm assuming there's more issues. They were forced to do something and then slow rolled it out, probably for numbers to come in slowly, I'd assume. I can't speak for their motivation, but this is I think 4 months old. So kind of strange that it just showed up just this last week. So
I don't think I've ever gotten anything from the VA, with the exception of my life insurance. I still have my military life insurance. Other than that, I've never even set foot in a VA facility. As a matter of fact, I only plan to use them once ever in my life, and that's to finish me off. Seriously.
They'll be able to handle that.
I don't know my name and can't control my functions and pretty much just a veg. I just want the kids or the grandkids to dump me in front of the nearest VA. Just kick me driving, and then they'll drag me in there and finish me off. So otherwise, I don't really have any sort of. I'm probably not even on there. The life insurance isn't even really through the Veterans Administration anymore. It's through a private company, but you go through a Veterans Administration portal to access it. But like I said, I've never even set foot in any of their facilities, so I'm probably just not on their radar.
Roll call says the VA is a joke anyway. So
yeah, I'm not a fan. So I know there's good people. I actually know some that are good people, but as a whole, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, but see, another thing, unfortunately, it's another government-run entity, and anything the government touches screws up.
Mm-hmm. Well, the cases where I've seen it, there wasn't good treatment. I can tell you that. So I can't speak medical, but verbal, how they treated people was not good. So, but that's in a sense, borderlines mental abuse in some cases. But I definitely, myself avoid those places as well. So I was shocked to get it myself. So especially under my circumstance where I'm still kind of stuck in limbo in between. So it was kind of weird. But that's a different story.
Talking about the VA, which is the government, you know what the worst saying in the world is? Hi, we're the government. We're here to help. I thought it was funny. Yeah. So
crazy stuff.
Yeah. You're right, roll call. The Ukrainian people are more important than our veterans. That's how they act. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't support Russia, but I think, I don't know about,
I can understand his comparison, or I think the point he's making, but I would argue, people tend to forget a lot of veterans are, screwed up individuals. So, and a lot of them don't want help. So, you can try all you want and it ain't going to happen. So, I've seen case recently where the guy where I was trying to get him relocated and tell him to find out he was fighting it, even though his place was so bad and infested. His wife, they wouldn't, like, she had all her shit on the porch. She wouldn't even go in the house. It was a big ordeal. I talked to his representative guy, this and that. And the next thing you know, come to find out, he was the one fighting it. And so in some cases, even if you get them a place and this and that, they're not, they're just not normal anymore. So, and you can't force people to change, especially when, some are damaged, some are just screwed up, and some are just, I don't know. Some don't want help. So, there should be more for the people that do in this country, in my opinion. But you got to understand, some of these people wouldn't want it if there was. They don't care. So it's a tough one. You can't totally, put all that on the government. You know what I mean? Some of it does go back to a percentage of the individuals, I would state. So, but as they say, in some cases, you left the war, but the war never left you. I mean, there's some screwed up people out there. I'm sure you guys know. I probably don't have to express this. Not trying to speak down on anybody in any way, but people handle things differently, and people been in different situations. Like, everybody's got a different experience with the military, in my opinion. So, it's hard to say in some cases. It would be nice for them to do more, though.
Yeah. True, but I got another can of worms. It's to do with roll call made me think about it. Is like, where do we go to get the true facts on what in the hell is going on with the Ukraine-Russian thing? Because I've seen shit.
Your ass on a plane and go to Ukraine.
But we shouldn't have to do that, because I've heard stories that what the mainstream media is telling us is not true. I've seen videos of people, saying that the Ukrainians are whipping the shit out of the Russians and all this kind of stuff. Then I watch another YouTube say, no, they're not. That's a lie. So, where do you go to find out what's really going on? That's what I want to know. I mean, there was a video out there where the reporter is standing there talking, showing a burning building behind him. Another reporter comes up and shows this perfect building behind him and goes, this is the one that was on fire 2 hours ago. And there's nothing wrong with it. So, who's lying?
I don't think you can know without almost firsthand experience. You can get an estimate. You can take your sources, put them in different piles, and do an estimate, or say on average, more reports say A versus B or whatever. But is it 100%? No, you're going off other information. So I think that's the same with what happened January 6th.
Yeah.
Most of America thinks it was something that it wasn't. So, and if you try to tell them something different, they call you crazy. So, same thing you can state with the Pentagon and 9/11, but we won't even get on there because now, half people, conspiracy. You can see stuff with your own eyes, and you're still crazy. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell people, but people believe what they want to believe. So if more things are in the favor of what they want to believe, those are the facts they're going to use. So you're picking and choosing. This is my gripe with a lot of shit with people online and all this stuff. You really don't have firsthand knowledge, but you're willing to, get in arguments to the point where you'll just exclude members of your family, change your life on information that's second, third, fourth, fifth hand knowledge. You have no freaking clue. Something you saw on TV. Like, people got to freaking chill. If you don't know. Say you don't know. This is what I heard. But don't be diehard on somebody else's facts that aren't even technically facts or opinion from another person. You can't verify just because they tell you this. Look at the CDC telling you about masks and everything. The box will tell you something different. Like, then they change their mind later and say, just because they said it doesn't mean it's right. So I don't know. I'm getting irritated. Damn it!
Yeah.
Don't trust any of it.
Yeah, I know. Then on top of all that, we got that illegitimate asshole who claims to be the president of the United States making an ass of himself and us as a country overseas. I tell you, it gets me all worked up. I try to stay away from. As you notice, I don't go on much about the news anymore. I try to stay away from it because it just gets me so frustrated.
Good. And you haven't had any heart problems since you slowed down on the news.
Well,
See that?
actually,
the fast food and news is meant to kill you.
Well, back up. I haven't, but I was sitting in Friday. Which was yesterday, right? I was sitting in Deb's Diner, munching on a burger. Was it a burger I was eating?
Wouldn't have happened if it was a salad. But continue.
Yeah, you're right. It more likely wouldn't have. Was it a burger I ate? I'm trying to think. No. I had breakfast. I had a pancake, one pancake, and bacon. But as I'm sitting there eating, you remember the original reason I went to the heart doctor, because I thought there was something wrong, was my arms seized up. Like I told you this before, like when they squeeze your arm with the blood pressure machine and how tight that gets around your arm and what it feels like. Well, When I was sitting there Friday down at the diner, both arms done that to me. And I'm sitting there, my arms are killing me. It only lasts for what? Minute, if that, more likely 30 seconds. It just feels longer. Then it goes away. And
could that be a circulation issue?
Yet.
Possibly circulation.
Well, I don't know. I got to go for that lung work, but that's not until the beginning of May. I still got to get through all of April yet. So I might call my doctor up and say it's happening again. Maybe that he can get my appointments moved forward. I mean,
what were you talking about with the guys when this happened?
What?
What were you talking about with the guys when this happened?
We were laughing.
Okay.
So it might have something to do with oxygen.
Possible.
I'm laughing.
Oxygen intake. Yeah. And you're gonna be lower than average just due to your size condition. So
yeah.
So it's possible.
But I didn't say anything to anybody. I just sat there and they carried on talking and stuff, and I just sat there for the 30 seconds for it to go away. So I think if it had got worse, I might have said something to the guys there to call 911, but I didn't.
To be safe, you should probably start taking that low dose aspirin that you keep putting on.
Yeah, I bought some yesterday, some aspirin.
Good. As a preventative. So obviously, it's not something to get addicted on. It destroys your stomach, gives you all types of other issues. But
I was heading towards the register at the dollar store, and I happened to head down the aisle where they keep all the medicine. And while I was down there, I said, I got to pick them up. So I picked some up.
Good man.
Yeah, oh yeah. No. But anyway, besides that, life is great. So I said I might call the doctor on Monday, let him know that it happened again and see what he says. Because something's causing it. As I said, it could be I'm not bringing enough oxygen in, so my blood hasn't got any oxygen in it or what. I don't know. But it just feels like my arms are being squeezed by one of those blood pressure machines. It hurts. Really, the whole arm through it, both arms. It's weird.
What about hydration? How's your pee look?
Okay.
Your pee coming out like a frat house beer that's been on a shelf for 2 weeks, or coming out pretty clear?
Oh,
What do your veins look like on your arms?
Oh, I don't have a problem there. Actually, I think I pee too much.
Well, yeah, everything could be a problem one way or the other. Too much,
yeah.
But that's good. I mean, obviously that's good if you're, because most people are dehydrated, and that also affects people differently. Usually, it's feeling kind of sluggish, headaches, fatigue. So a lot of the stuff people run to the doctor to get a pill for, if they just drank a little more damn water, they'd be perfectly fine.
Actually,
God forbid.
Yesterday, I just bought my third 24 bottle pack of water. So I've drank two. Since I quit drinking sodas, I've drunk, so what's that, 24 and 24, 48 bottles of water since I stopped drinking soda. When did I stop drinking soda? A week and a half ago or so? I don't remember.
Something like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't feel any, I don't feel like I'm missing anything by not drinking them, but I am drinking, but being diabetic, I also drink a lot too, because one of the symptoms is being thirsty, and I'll drink, three bottles. Don't even, the small bottles, so. I'll drink. I've already drank. Like this morning, I've had two cups of tea, and I've had one bottle of water. But before the night's over, I more likely drink at least 2 to 3 more bottles of water. So
you should. Most people should. Honest to God, you even stink less if you're hydrated. Believe it or not.
Yep.
All the toxins and stuff that seep out of your body, things like that, and then you're flushing yourself out. Good for your organs. It's crazy. So I'm not a huge fan of water either, but I drink it. Because you should. It won't hurt you, people.
Yeah, but I said this last time. I flavor mine. I'm using grape right now. Grape flavor, and it's sugar free, so it's got chemicals in it. Hey, and the way I look at it,
counterproductive, Rick. Well, counterproductive.
Hey, if all those chemicals can keep a Twinkie fresh for 25 years, right? It's got to keep them insides healthy for that amount of time.
No. It's not how it works.
Yeah.
But no, really, there's not much different between you putting that flavored, non-sugar, aspartame, God knows what science experiment crap in your water than there is just drinking the soda. You're skipping out the corn syrup, but besides that, it's pretty much the same damn thing. So
no, I disagree with you. I've looked.
Maybe you should compare the labels to the bottle of soda.
That's why I'm saying I disagree with you.
All right. Maybe I misspoke, but still think plain water's better.
No, Even my doctor says it's better, even if you're using the flavored stuff in your water. It's better than drinking soda. You know. He said, what did he say? A 2-liter bottle of soda adds about 12 pounds on you. You know, if you don't burn it off, if you're not working enough, if you're not working enough to burn it off, you'll be putting weight on all the time. So, actually, believe it or not, I've lost in this last week and a half. I've lost about 7 pounds. You know, and my actual food intake hasn't changed, but not drinking soda. See?
Cool. Now you got to push for a little more activity.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Change your metabolism very slowly. Next thing you know, you'll be that guy that's the PT stud that's already done his reps and everything before the sun's up, got your guns ripped apart, everything repacked, just waiting for the day.
Yeah. Yeah. G23, ask a dietitian their opinions about the two. Yeah. I will next time I see one. Hey, Patriot in the Dark, what are you doing in the chat and not here on the show? You're my co-host. You know? I'm gonna ask questions. How your daughter's doing with the old skeet shooting or whatever. Does she like the shotgun? Is she doing good? Can she hit the damn thing, as it's flying across? I got loads of questions for you. So oh well. G23
Patriot being a quitter, huh?
Water a day. They say you should drink, and they say you should drink a gallon of water a day. So I
didn't think Patriot to be a quitter.
Sounds like you goddamn peeing.
Nope. Coffee pot.
Coffee's not good for you. All that caffeine.
Better than soda. Yeah, what's going on with Patriot?
Read the label.
You throw his thumbnails in there. You do all this stuff.
How is it better? There's caffeine in coffee and there's caffeine in soda.
How is it better? Because coffee's technically organic, and coffee technically, even though it may not be that way by the time I get it here, unless you're buying organic, but sugar's optional, no corn syrup, and let's see. I don't drink soda. Let me see if I got any soda, if I can compare. I only really drink soda when I'm drinking alcohol. So, see what else?
You drink a lot of soda then?
No, not really. Acids. What is it? I can't even say it. Prosopic, whatever acid. The dyes for it. So, I mean, you're still lacking a lot. I guess similar to your powder and water mix.
Yeah. G23, can't wait for my live stream today. Great guest panelist. Who's that? Is that you, New York Outcast?
Nah, I'm probably skipping this one. This is one of those, if you got problems, call this number type deal. We want to help you, give you a cookie, rub your tummy stuff. So not for me. So, no disrespect. If that's your thing, if that helps you, by all means. But as I stated on his last show, the service members, people I know, they'll be damned to call any organization. So, it's just, I don't know. I don't want to get into a whole big old thing.
How was the whatchamacallit chat this morning? I only listened to about 5 minutes of it.
I got there late. Squib was on there, so he could say something. So I didn't catch it. Had a hell of a night.
Because weren't they talking about 80%ers this morning or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
They were.
it wasn't Caliber Corner. It was Conspiracy Corner.
Oh, is that what it turned into?
Yeah, I really couldn't wait for the show to end.
Ooh, that's horrible. Ooh.
Hey, it doesn't go down the political rabbit hole very often. It's not the format of the show, but it doesn't mean that, once or twice a year some stuff doesn't come up. And that's kind of what it was today. It was, they're coming for you kind of stuff. I'm not putting it on the host or the panelists. It was in the live chat, really. And it just, maybe I would have been better off if I hadn't read the live chat. There was a few things said on air that, whatever. But it's not my show, right? It's not my show, and typically the format of the show just doesn't go into those areas. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing. Every now and then, it just some people take stuff take it in a direction that I don't want to be a part of. How's that?
Yeah.
Well, after reviewing the show, I didn't see any problem with it myself. But I wasn't on the show, and I didn't see the chat at all because it posted. It was too quick, and the chat wasn't available at that point. But I'd say, I don't know. I think I can't see this chat, so I can't speak for that. But I wouldn't call it conspiracy-ish as far as what I've seen off the show, because honestly, who knows what the ATF is going to decide they have the power or capability to rule next, or on what. So, they're going above their role now in cases. So, nothing lasts forever. You know what I mean? Some people would state they'd never lock down the country due to some virus, but they did. You know what I mean? Things change. So,
Yeah, you know what?
You never know.
Talking about conspiracy theory, here's one for you guys. You notice that what's called, isn't there an election in November this year? Right? And guess what's starting to show up around the country now? The new variant of COVID. They're going to bring in mail-in ballots again to try to keep the Democrats in control.
Yeah, and the political mails.
That's my conspiracy.
Political mail's going out too. I've got a place with three apartments in it. Nobody's lived there, and yet I'm getting political mail for people I've never heard of at the address. So what does that tell you? Yeah, I think that they're already priming the system.
Yeah,
have never lived there, not even a similar name.
Yeah. Well, when the ballots come in, vote for the good guys and send them back. Play their game.
You might be onto something there, but I don't know. I'm trying not to be a clerk like that.
Patriot in the dark. So what's the trivia question from last week? I listened to the show, but I didn't hear a question. I said the question quite a few times, Patriot, and I said it on Wednesday. But I will give the question again. It was a bit confusing. People thought, I didn't think it was. So the easiest way to say it is, I want to know what the best-selling firearm in the world, according to Google. Hey, I mean, you might say it's something else, but when I typed that into Google, they came up with this answer. and that's the one I'm going with. I want to know the number one firearm in the world. Since I've said it, so email me at rickslifeasIseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Get it into me by 12 noon Eastern time, the only time zone that matters, this Saturday, which is the 2nd, I believe. And you win a
Spartan Arms hat.
Yeah, Spartan Arms hat, plus a patch and a couple of stickers. There's not going to be as much. I mean, the hat is one of the big prizes, but the swag packs I'm doing at the moment aren't going to be as big as they were, because I did get a box of swag from CloverTech. Thank you, CloverTech, if you're out there. That I don't think he is, but you know, he sent me a bunch of swag, so I'm going to start using that. And if anybody else got any swag they want to send me, feel free. I'll use it for my quiz.
Did you get my email? Second email?
Yes, yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
You're right this time.
Finally. All right. Yeah.
Oh. What did I miss? So you saying to commit multiple felonies? Oh, am I telling Rob to commit multiple felonies? No, I'm not telling him to. I just made a suggestion. You know, he's a big boy. He can make his own decisions. You know, he's over 21. So there you go.
But I still get ID'd.
Yeah.
Just happened today at the cigarette store. So the lady stops and she just gives me that look, and I'm like, oh, now hold on.
I mean, they got an ID? Was it 27 now?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly, I don't blame them. I mean, do I think everybody should have to have an ID that's government sanctioned? No, I don't believe so. But I do understand that in a lot of places, it is your job if you don't ID. So that's just part of the game at this point. So again, try not to voluntarily submit to it in a sense, but it's the way they do it over here. Yeah. And I have been on the other side of the counter, and honestly, it ain't worth my job, So I think it's kind of crazy because there's some stores here that will actually ID me for a lighter as well. So like they're real touchy on things, and that's it's kind of a delay.
Oh, I know. I worked.
So it's kind of a pain in the ass.
I had a part-time job in a convenience store, and I used to ID. It wasn't. I mean, part-time. Should I have bothered? But I did, because I'm a responsible. I tried to be a responsible citizen. I would ID them like when they came in to buy cigarettes and shit. So.
Yeah, place I was at, you'd lose your job if they caught you not IDing somebody. They don't care how old they are. It's just policy because of the fines and violations.
No, I mean, are you saying
they don't even care?
If I walked up there, they would still ID me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It could be your parent. They're still going to expect you to ID them, or you can go pack your shit, basically. So everywhere isn't like that, you know what I mean? But I do understand some places are. So, and it is a little frustrating when somebody rolls up to get gas and then they want to bitch about an ID, for a Philly wrap or a blunt or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of, I don't know. You know what I mean? But again, it doesn't, maybe they're not legal drivers. I don't know. It's not my place in a sense, but if it comes down to my job or you whipping an ID out, it's I'm keeping my job in that sense. that's not a huge violation of your rights. You can go to another store.
Yeah. I totally hear you. So let's see. Somebody said, "Oh,
And even I don't like it. So, but yeah, that's what it is. Pain in the ass, especially for a lighter. Or Halloween, and you go buy eggs, and they want an idea or something, or toilet paper, to discourage kids from buying it, which I don't even think is legal, but they do that shit around here.
I tell you, it said you got to get out. You got to move out of there."
Shaving cream, eggs, or what is it, toilet paper, they restrict from minors in a lot of places around, at least that I've seen on Halloween, because they're expecting vandalism. So they're pre-criming what the kid's going to do to it. God forbid his mom needs some toilet paper.
yeah, sitting on the toilet waiting for him to get home.
Yeah.
Oh God. Anyway, we're going way off topic here, and it's gone 4:00, so I'm going to wind this up. I'm getting hungry. So are the cats, and I don't know. I just want to wind it up. I'm running out of things to talk about. Well, not to talk about, but things to say. Is there a difference? I don't want to drop my foot in it any more than I already have today.
Well, what's happened to Patriot? I mean, you guys have a problem with the bromance? Does he not like me? Why doesn't he come in here anymore?
Well, Patriot in the dark, I don't know.
I thought those Marines had a code.
Yeah. He claims he's looking after a house full of girls. Well, I want to know what Jason's excuse is. Jason Stewart. As I said at the beginning of the show, they're all hanging out over there with G-Webs and his gun question lobby.
So it's always faithful, but just not to you. I get it now. I get it.
Oh, yeah. They're not faithful to me at all. They bailed on me to go to G-Webs. So. Got your rings and bore scope. Oh. UPS or FedEx is showing up, huh, Tony? Oh. All right. Actually, when I was lining up my my scope that I got on my AR-15 that's hanging on the RNLDisplays.com wall mount behind me, I used a bore scope. My friend had one. So I thought it would. Jason claims to be at work. So, yeah, I mean, Ohio is, they're building a lot of houses in that state. And that is why, totally flipping the topic to something totally what a lot of people don't believe in. Ohio has become almost, I think this year, when I say this year, I'm talking about the last 12 months. Ohio, I think, has one of the largest sightings of Bigfoot in the last 12 months than most anywhere else. Believe it or not. And that's all Jason's fault because of all the houses they're building. They're destroying the habitat that Bigfoot lives in. Just saying.
I thought you were going to say because he keeps being spotted sneaking out of ladies' windows.
So. Well, hey, I just thought I'll mention that, Ohio does have a big thing,
Mm-hmm. Husband was like, "What the heck is that?" And the wife was like, "It was Bigfoot. I swear to God." And then Jason's putting down the street.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is, if any of you guys are interested, go to howtohunt.com. He is, his show is different. You know, he has all he does, this whole show, it can last 20 minutes, it can last an hour. Depends how he's feeling. All he does is read letters, emails that are sent to him about people's experience with Bigfoot or Sasquatch, whatever you wish to call him. And think about this. If thousands of people claim to have seen him, there's got to be some truth to it. Or what are they seeing? Not the thousands upon thousands of people who have claimed to see him. They all can't be misidentification. I'm not. I would say a vast majority of them are, but you know, I'm just saying.
I don't know. I'm a believer, Rick, but that's from a personal experience. But I don't believe 99% of those types of stories. So I'm sorry. I think there's a lot of people out there that want attention.
But there's no way he sits there and writes them stories up.
Well, no, but it doesn't mean that, half the nutbags in some hospital aren't fans of his channel and send stuff in. What I'm saying is, yes, I don't believe most of them. Some of them I think are possible, but
there's people that would send in fake stories. But not only that, it's a known fact that
is the channel monetized?
I don't know if it is. No, he's not actually. I don't think.
So he doesn't make any money. Doesn't sell any swag. Nothing.
No, doesn't sell any swag. Doesn't advertise it. Doesn't do anything.
That's a little more to credibility, but still.
I think he's got. I mean, he's got a big subscription. I can't think how many, but and it's all word of mouth.
But for all we know, there's 10 people out there that write these stories for a hobby and send it into them, along with regular people here or that or this or that. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't believe. I think it's done on purpose to make everything sound stupid and crazy. Like a lot of these, just finding Bigfoot. Let's go run around and beat on shit in the woods. That's just,
But
what hunters do you see actually act that way? You know what I mean? This is all entertainment shit, but to throw dirt on the real questionable stuff.
There has been 100+ samples of DNA found, but mainstream people don't tell you that, do they? And under that DNA, 95% is human. The other 5% they cannot identify. What's that tell you?
There's lots of samples, sightings, trackways, all types of things that are definitely questionable that we can't, with today's technology, duplicate or fake or whatever. But as you said, it's almost like the COVID thing or anything else. Those people are discredited. It's pushed to the side. So that's what it is. David Paulides covers a lot with that, with investigators, bunch of scientists, all types of stuff, highly accredited people still in other countries to this day that can't get a say here. So it's the, I don't know, and in one sense, brainwashing. It secures the issues. It's like all the crazy stories. If you worked in a place and there was little green guys and you went home and said, hey, there's little green guys that work without, everybody's going to call you nuts.
Another point. That's another point. And the government denied UFOs forever. In the last few years, they said, yes, there is UFOs out there.
Damn, just look at Beetlejuice. Come on now. That ain't human.
Yeah. And she lives in Chicago. So anyway, we're just going way off there.
I'm surprised Squib is still here.
So am I. He might, well, living in Michigan, he could be a believer. The amount of woods they got up there.
A lot of disappearances happening around those lakes.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of disappearances.
You know, put it this way, I'm not opposed to the idea. You know, and I mean, people say, how do you, I mean, if you come across all you hunters out there, have you ever come across something strange in the woods that you say, oh, that's different, that you can't explain? It happens. You know, that's all I'm saying. You know, and Tony says, well, should have find remains. Well, to me, it's like certain animals. It's rare to find mountain lion skeletons. It's rare to find bear. You know what I'm saying? Even the elephant goes off to die, you know, and they're rarely ever found. You know,
Yeah. I'd also argue how many people hike and, actually live and travel out in the country. There's not really that many. People claim they're outdoorsmen and this and that, but, there's a big difference of really spending time out. And that percentage of people drops significantly. But on top of all that, how many times have people stumbled across a dead body in the woods? I mean, it's really not that common. It's not an everyday occurrence, but yet there's millions of humans versus who knows a number, if there is a number, of whatever, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti. So you don't know their practices as well. So there could be burial.
Take Alaska. There's over 16,000 people go missing. They never find the bodies.
When you look at the numbers, I mean, it's not that unbelievable. And even if somebody did find a body, made a video, was going to go put it on YouTube, if it was legitimate, do you think the government would allow that to stay there? I doubt it.
Yeah. Well, see, there you go, Tony. Rare is not none. I believe the government has a Sasquatch remains, but they keep it hidden from the government, from the people, just like they did UFOs for years and years and years. Eventually, it will come out that yes, they are real. And here's my conspiracy theory: why the government makes fun of it and everybody else does, and they say there's no such thing, is to do like everything
discredit
else.
It.
You got to follow the money. Look at all the paper mills who make all those. Look at the amount of forest, the trees. There is a hell of a lot of money in wood, a hell of a lot. And if they said, well, you can't cut down any more timber in the state of Washington because it's Bigfoot habitat, the wood companies would go absolutely bust. That's why they do it. So, I'm just saying this is my opinion. Just think about it. I mean, a lot of times there's some rare animal that's found in the woods, then all of a sudden they stop doing what they're doing because it becomes protected area, and that person has to move somewhere else to do whatever they're doing. And those companies like, what the hell is it? Pacific, whatever it's called. I think the name of them now. Humongous company that deals with paper and wood and all that. I mean, they're worth billions, trillions of dollars in business. They're not good. They're lobbying the government to keep it quiet. So,
not just that, but I don't think the government likes admitting things they don't have answers or solutions to.
Yeah.
Things like that as well, because then it jeopardizes the structure of society. All that type of stuff. That's what they were worried about with the aliens for the longest. Everybody's going to go nuts and, this or that or whatnot. So same, I'm sure there would be some of that in there as well. It's a lot of things would have to be looked at. if something like that, primate or whatever was established nowadays with all the laws and things. So, but again, that would start leading people's questions, and then people would get all biblical. And are they the Nephilim? Are they this? Or you can just, it puts things in question. So it's the same with the stuff that's been spotted on some of the telescopes. Like you'll notice usually right before they go out and they're shut off for service, and then you'll catch little articles here or there, stuff that they just don't want to have to explain, probably because they can't.
Yeah. Georgia Pacific. That's it, Tony. That company's worth trillions of dollars. They're not going to give up all their rights to cutting down wood in all these states. Anyway, we can go on for hours on this kind of shit. And, Squib's already sat through one conspiracy show. He doesn't want to sit through another.
That wasn't a conspiracy show. He's just really touching. This is borderline. So, yeah, I'm shocked he's here.
Yeah. My only question is, does it taste good? Don't know. Never had one. So, anyway, let's wind this up because I said the cats are sitting here. One's already scratched my leg, So, all right. New York Outcast, you got any shout outs or plugs?
Check out R&L Displays, Buy American. Support your firearms so they can support you. Obviously, check out everybody out in the chat amongst each other. If you do have, I don't know, some, I don't know, it's probably the wrong way to put it. If you're interested in hotlines and things like that, check out G23s tonight because I think we're going to be talking about suicide prevention. So if that's something
it's a good topic if you're into it,
Yeah, if there's some way that touches you in your life, go check it out. So, other than that, eat a salad, avoid Glocks, pay cash, and be a damn man or woman.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.
Oh, I'm not a biologist, so I can't answer any of those questions. So, Squab, you got anything?
I couldn't wait for this show to get over either.
Well, I appreciate you sticking around. Oh, there you go. He left. So, all right. I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat for sticking around. We've gone from, from the ATF down to Bigfoot. We've covered it all. So I appreciate you putting up with me and some of my crazy theories. So I really do appreciate it. And I will be back on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, the only time zone that matters. So we will see you all then. So good afternoon, everybody. Goodbye, Sabrina.
Eat a salad.